here to put the best in each of our residents. And it's like a holistic approach, but person-centered.
We make a difference, we bring joy, and we add spark.
It's about advocating for others. It's such a privilege and an honor.
What you can do for them, being able to communicate. It's about making sure that people feel valued.
Creating meaningful connections and enhancing quality of life.
Our magic lies in connecting with others and letting them know they're never too late.
We are called to understand.
We spread aroha, we spread love.
We see the best in people.
We make dreams happen.
We are the ambassadors of passion and purpose.
We are hard workers.
We are meaning makers.
Good evening, everybody, and we are live once again. I just had a bit of a panic. I cannot find the correct window, but now we are here and we are bringing our own sunshine on a wonderful Monday evening. Kia ora, Etefana. Welcome to another episode of Korero Live, where we talk about everything under the sun, about recreational therapy, and about enhancing the quality of life of the people that we care and support. I'm AJ, once again, your National Executive Treasurer, and tonight we're exploring on something deeply important to all of us, how we care for ourselves while caring for others. So we are joined here tonight by the wonderful Jessica, a creative, passionate, and thoughtful registered diversional recreational therapist of Aotearoa, who recently shared with us a beautiful gift, a free digital self-care journal made just for our profession. We're here to unpack how journaling and self-reflection can support us as diversional and recreational therapists. Now, hi, welcome, Jessica. Oh, Jessica is frozen. Just I think because it's Taranaki is a little bit cold today, so Jessica will try to reconnect and we'll hop in and hop out. But just while waiting for Jessica, let's talk about how wonderful this gift that she has presented and prepared for all of us in our profession. I think that this is very, very thoughtful, knowing that how much we give from our own cup, it's really important to refill our cups as well. And tonight, it's talking about self-care. And I think Jessica is back. Jessica, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm not sure if you're able to see me for some reason.
Yes, we can see you and we can hear you clearly. So
Oh, lovely. Because on my end, sorry, it's all black. So please bear with me. Yes, sorry about the technical issues.
yeah, so Jessica, welcome and how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for asking that question. It's really important for us to really to be checking on each other really. So kia ora everyone, kia ora AJ. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And honestly, I'm so grateful to be here. As a diversional and recreational therapist, we give so much of ourselves every single day. So we give it to our residents, to their whānau, to our teams, and even our own families. That sometimes we often forgot, maybe not sometimes, but we often forgot to take care of our own person who needs it, who needs the most, which is ourselves.
Mm. Absolutely. So before we dive in and unpack the beautiful journey that we have, the beautiful gift that you have given the society, Jessica, let us allow us to be settled in your day today. How was your day, and how is Taranaki at the moment? Is it super cold or is it super relaxed?
Our maunga is beautiful. That crisp snow in there is just an amazing view. Every time when I wake up, I open my curtains. That's the best view I have. So I'm very blessed to have that. My day so far, we had an amazing day at work. We went out when we went out for an outing with our residents, and we have a beautiful community, and we went to Tipopo Gardens, and
Mm.
the owner of the place actually gave us a free beautiful afternoon tea, which everyone enjoys. So it feels like we were actually in South Africa. So
Oh,
it's
that is
beautiful,
lovely.
beautiful
Kapay.
place to visit.
Right. And to all the listeners and to all the people that are joining us tonight, now my hi to my welcome and good evening. So please do send us some comments, engage with us so that we're just like talking in the living room. That's what I was telling Jessica that we're not supposed to be. I mean, it's okay to be nervous, but
Mhm.
we're not supposed to be nervous because it's just like us talking. So please feel free to drop a comment on the chat box so that we can shout out and give a special mention. So, such as the people who are saying hello and good evening, Sanjana Rohit. Hello there. How are you? And Andrea Walker. Hi, hi, hi. Yeah,
Hello,
Sanjana is from
guys.
the beautiful Stratford, Taranaki. So, Team Taranaki is representing here tonight. Ah, bye. So, Jessica, just to break the ice and to
Mhm.
to settle us in, I like to do this with my residents when I do one-on-ones and when
Mhm.
I do icebreakers and start conversation. I like to start with random would you rather and no
Oh
explanation
gosh.
needed, and just for us to get to know you better and to have those specific random question and
Mhm.
wild and crazy questions that may or may not be related to what we will be talking tonight. So, would you
Okay.
rather travel back to the past or time travel back to the past or to the future?
I would say to the future.
Oh, travel to the future and you don't want to
Yeah.
mess up with your past, say.
Yeah,
Ah,
I mean, because you really need to be looking forward to the future. The past is already given; it's already done and dusted. So I would rather, focus on my future because I know I can do better.
amazing. All right, different answers. I had my residents answer that differently as well. All right, would you rather? Here's a difficult one. Would you
Oh my God!
rather lose your memory or lose your eyesight?
Wow.
Lose your vision or lose your memory?
I would say I would rather lose my vision.
Mm,
Because for me, when I lose my vision, and if I still have that beautiful memory in my heart, my vision doesn't really matter at all. So
mm.
the memories I have deep inside me, that's a
That's what
part
you want
of
to do.
being, yeah, that's the part of my life and who I am. So even if I can't see physically, my heart can still speak to it. So I would
Oh,
choose,
bye. Yeah, and
I would
that's why it's
choose
very
that
important for
one.
us to have therapeutic recreation so
Mm-hmm.
that it's anti-dementia. So dementia is
Yes.
not free. Yeah, kapay. So good evening, Sue Moxam. Thank you for joining us. And hello, Lee Heron
Oh,
from Chile, Timaru, which is 5.5 degrees at the moment. So
wow.
thank you for joining us. Well, by the way, please don't use that would you rather question to residents because one of my experience when I asked that would you rather lose your vision or memory, she got so upset and she said, I'm not gonna play with you anymore. It's a stupid question. I don't wanna. Yeah. So of course, get to know your resident and really do that with caution. Hi, Annalise.
Mhm.
Thank you for joining us. So I think
Hi, Annalise.
back the beautiful art of journaling and the
Mhm.
beautiful activity of refilling our cup and really checking on ourselves. And it's really nice to have Jessica here tonight to talk about that. So our first question is about self-care. Let's start there,
Mhm.
Jessica. Self-care. Let's start with a question. Why does self-care matter to you as a registered diversional and recreational therapist? Why do you think as diversional and recreational therapists, we need to really talk about self-care more?
All right. So, the emotional toll of working in aged care, disability, and mental health. Working in these fields means we are constantly holding emotional space for others, listening to their stories, witnessing witnessing loss and decline, and supporting people through trauma, grief, loneliness, or any behavioral challenges. So, over this time, this emotional labor can become very heavy, especially when compounded by staffing shortages, time pressure, or lack of recognition. So we may not notice it immediately, but the weight builds quietly. It's the emotional load that doesn't clock out at the end of a shift. So it is very vital to acknowledge self care.
Amazing. I think that I have taken so much from those very simple but beautiful words that you've said. Before we proceed to the next question, I'd like to expound more on that
Mm-hmm.
wonderful metaphor that you've used, Jessica. The emotional shift that we carry that doesn't clock out when we
Mm-hmm.
do at the end of the
Yes.
shift. Can you talk more about that? Did you have an experience before that you brought, those trauma and those burdens home
Mm-hmm.
with you, or were you self-aware? Did you make yourself aware of that in
Mm-hmm.
an experience? And what are the tools probably, and what are the reminders that we can do to avoid those
Yeah,
burdens?
so I think most of the DRTs can relate to this. Working in this field, especially with the loss and grief, that's the number one, I think, challenge that I have in my life, personally and with my work. So just imagine a day wherein two people died on your shift, or you come into work and you receive a message that those two lovely residents or clients of yours already passed away. So that is the start of having a difficult day. Like, how can I proceed? I'm a DRT. I should be happy. I should bring positivity to the room because that's who we are. That's our work, and that's our main goal. So it is quite difficult, but at the end of the day, as I said, you just needed time and space for you to breathe, and to reflect as well, that that is just part of life. And yes, you are right, I do bring it at home. Sometimes I feel lost, I feel very sad. But then again, it is very important to accept your emotions as well. We need to acknowledge what we feel, and just take the time, take that moment to actually process everything, and just be kind to yourself.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I can really respond to that with a wonderful Korero. I mean, a fakatauki that I have read, which
Mm-hmm.
says, He oranga ngakaw, he pikinga wayora, which means positive feelings in your heart will enhance your sense of well-being. So same thing if you flip it, that if you carry, the trauma and the distraught that we experience in our work, which is inevitable
Mm-hmm.
because we cannot just select all the happy moments that we have at work, all the
That's
happy
right.
moments that we have with our clients and our
Mm-hmm.
residents, and not empathize and not feel with them when they are down, and when they are depressed. So
Mm-hmm.
it takes a toll on us. So
It does.
yeah, self-care is very, very important, and talking about this is very, very important. Now let's go to the tool that you have used
Mm-hmm.
to expound on self-care and to refill our cup, which
Mm-hmm.
is journaling. So
Yeah.
before that, we would like to say, before I lose track of our listeners that have joined us tonight, thank you very
Mm-hmm.
much. We say hi to Cheryl Montero. Good evening to you. Carol Wirt, good evening to you too. We have
Good evening.
Arrow and Axe. Hi, how are you there? Marisa, Jane, hello, and Evelyn, good evening. Thank you very much for joining us. I know some of these people that are joining us, Jessica, are even outside New Zealand. So now my hi,
Wow.
my thank you for joining us all over the world,
Welcome.
wherever you are. And I think this is very important to really check on ourselves. So
That's
journaling,
right. Mm-hmm.
that's an amazing tool that you have introduced to us,
Yes.
Jessica. Let's dive into that. What
Mm-hmm.
inspired you to create journaling, and how is your journey with journaling?
All right, so let me start with how's your journey with journaling. I'll to be honest with you, I am still a work in progress. I couldn't say that I'm journaling. I'm a lot, I'm progressing slowly because I am doing that myself. Now, with this journal, it was actually created from a place of burnout, honesty, and hope. And I truly believe it's something we all need more of, like space for ourselves. I created this journal as as a space where I could be honest, 100% honest with myself, reflect, and actually breathe. It's holistic, practical, and at the same time accessible, which I wanted. It is a gentle tool to support our own hawura. It's a reflection of what many of us need but often forget to prioritize, and that's our own well being. So, out of burnout, overwhelm, and the habit, a very bad habit, by the way, the habit of always putting myself last, this came something beautiful. So, I really hope that this journal reminds you, like it did to me as well, that your well being matters too.
Amazing. Let me just. I think I am. Oh, there you go. Amazing. Thank you very much for that
You're welcome.
story, Jessica. So let's talk about journaling and
Mm-hmm.
in your life. So
Mm-hmm.
you've mentioned that you are still learning for that, but
Mm-hmm.
you've been journaling since you were
Yes.
young, or is this
Yes.
really something that you are, it's part of your routine?
Actually, I love journaling way back in my high school day. I just love writing because I might be loud for some reason, but there is this part of me where there are thoughts and emotions and feelings that I could not literally just blunt out, like I couldn't share to anyone. So what I do is, if I'm feeling overwhelmed, I go to a corner. I want it to be quiet, and I actually write down the thoughts and emotions or the thing that happened throughout the day. And I love it because it's like it's my way of again being honest with myself
Mm,
and acknowledging my feelings and emotions at the same time. So it really helped me. It
Kapan.
actually helped me to heal as well.
Mm. Yeah, and when we talk about journaling, what are the practical steps that you do when you do journaling? Does it have to be a paragraph, APA
Mm-hmm.
reference? Does it
Mm-hmm.
can it be like short sentences? Can we draw in our journal? Can we use figures, graphics, scribbles, and
Mm-hmm.
wrong grammars?
Yes, so with journaling, it doesn't need to be perfect. As I mentioned before, it needs to be intentional. So this is beautiful because this is why I created this journal so that you have a guide on actually how to start it. But
Mm,
at the same time, it doesn't need to stop in there, all right? You have your own personal matters that maybe you want to be added in there. You can put your touch in there, you can edit it out. But again, journaling doesn't mean that you need to have a perfect grammar because I myself is not don't have that anyways. So journaling doesn't need to be perfect. If you're so creative and you can express what you feel for drawing, you can actually do that with technology. You can do doodles, or you can just even start with a few sentences, or even just ask simple questions. Let's say, how am I feeling today? And actually start writing. Because sometimes, with writing, the beauty of that is that you thought you're not able to produce a very long, answers to that one simple question. But you know what? You'll be surprised at the end of the day you have written like the whole entire book.
mm,
So yeah, just start small. It doesn't matter,
yeah.
it doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be you.
Amazing. And I would like to share as well my own story and my own journey with journaling,
Mm-hmm.
Jessica. So there was a point in my life that I needed, support, and I needed professional advice. And one of
Mm-hmm.
the tasks that I was, what was asked to do is journaling.
Mm-hmm.
And although I'm not really, I'm not fond of writing. So that's what I did. I just used phrases in the day, bullet points, some drawings that I did, and it was very therapeutic, as you've mentioned. All the benefits I've really experienced firsthand. When you are able to pour out and have an outlet for all those emotions and all those feelings, whether it's resolved or unresolved, you're
Mm-hmm.
not buckling it up inside, but you're able to put it out. And the beauty of journaling, I think, is it's a holistic tool. It's a holistic therapeutic tool that you can use, because while it was very therapeutic for me to let it all out, on times that when I am down as well, and then when I get the journal and reading back to what I have written, it is
Mm-hmm.
very therapeutic as well. So taking you
Yes.
back to spaces where you were vulnerable, taking
Mm-hmm.
you back to experiences and memory where feelings of being just safe and being just able to say what you want to say. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a highlight of this wonderful tool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we need to remember it's okay not to be okay. And
Hmm.
as you said, if you look back on your journal and see how you're able to go through all of the challenges that you have and how you surpass it, you will be proud of yourself. Like,
Hmm.
oh, I made it. It's just beautiful.
Yeah. And while our journey continues and our challenges also continues and amplifies
Mm-hmm.
as well,
Mm-hmm.
journals can remind you, and the past can remind you that the position you are on right now is a position where you have wished for in the
Mm-hmm.
past, and sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you have forgotten to see that already because it's already there. But when you are reminded that it just used to be a to do or a goal or a vision that you have written down, but now you're living it. So the
Mm-hmm.
challenges comes along with it. Amazing. So you've actually shared some practical steps, just how
Yes.
to start journaling. And
Mm-hmm.
now let's explore more, because I know many of us struggle to find time
Mm-hmm.
to really include that in our routine. So how do you think we can realistically include journaling and self-care into our
Mm-hmm.
daily habits and our daily routines of work and life and everything in between?
Yes, so I understand that many of us struggle to find time. Me, myself, I'm a mother of two. I have a 12-year-old beautiful daughter and a son who's 2 years old. Very challenging times. Yeah, I work full time as a DRTH, and I also have my businesses going. So it's very, time is just
Full
something,
on.
yeah, very
Mm.
full on, too much. But, again, at the end of the day, we need to be grateful for what we have. So, how do we realistically include journaling and self care in our daily routines? It's very simple. All you need is give yourself time. Just 5 minutes of journaling. A quick morning or evening check in with yourself is very important, and it is already enough. So, jot down how you feel, one thing that you're grateful for, and your intention for the day. That's how you started. Or even when you're on your car and you're parking before you go to work, you can stop, and if you're not like a person who loves to write, just open up your voice recorder. We call this our car moments. You can do voice notes. So if writing isn't your thing, that's not a problem. Just record a voice memo while parked. It is also like a private space and time to reflect. And the other thing I would suggest is, reflection circles. So create this safe, supportive spaces with your team. You can do that with your team to check in and share, your journey. So even once a week make already a big difference. And
Mm.
also, like, debrief journaling. Use your journal to actually process your feeling after a very tough situation or a session. It really helps us release our emotional load and prevents burnout.
Amazing. Yeah, that was a very, very practical and, very doable start of this use of this amazing tool. Yeah, let's talk more about that reflection circle that
Mm-hmm.
you've mentioned, Jess. And
Mm-hmm.
this is, I think, wonderful, because this is something that you can actually do with your residents that can
Yes.
benefit them as well, eh? And
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing that is very lovely about our profession, is that what we do can actually also benefit us, and you know
That's
what
right.
works for us can work for our residents. I'd like to share one of the things, or one of my go-to recreational therapy for myself to fill my
Mm-hmm.
cup, is the game of mahjong, right? And when I was working as a diversional recreational therapist, I have been very thankful to my God, that I am in this profession, that I
Mm-hmm.
can actually play the game that I love with my residents, and have them, experience the benefit that I have. Yeah. So can you think of, or have you actually remember using journaling with your residents, and can you share that experience with us?
Yes. So there are a lot of residents or clients who loves to write. We have one in particular in our home at the moment who loves to write everything. She doesn't have a template yet, but every day she writes down all the amazing things that happens. And then at the end of the day, when you do one-on-one with her, she will actually tell you, "Hey, look at my journal. Every day gets getting better."
Oh,
It's not
wow.
the same every day. So it's amazing. And when you hear these things, it would reflect on how the DTs work, on site. So it's a
Mm,
beautiful, yeah, it's a beautiful thing to witness. And I think that's the beauty of journaling. And as I said, you can use this tool too with your residents. Like this morning at work, we you just need to incorporate little things. As DRTs, you need to be creative and
yeah.
make it more engaging and fun at the same time. So we were like tossing a ball, and then when they catch it, they need to answer the questions. But
Mm,
guess what? The questions that we have are actually about self-care and gratitude. Like, for example, the questions were, what are you grateful for today?
mm,
What are you looking forward to? Who was this person, or was there a person who made your day today? What's the reason behind that beautiful smile? So it's like the best way to start a day is being
mm.
grateful and acknowledging yourself. So it actually builds up, or set the tone for the day, and you've already made your residents happy and engaged, so things can just go on.
Things will just fall and flow, and yeah, the
That's
flow
right.
is there. Amazing. Yeah, and I cannot tautoko with you more about, I cannot agree with you more about starting with a grateful heart, and I can
Mm.
hear the music in the background. Best way to start your day is with a grateful heart, right? Because that is
Yes,
just amazing, to set the tone.
that's right.
And you've mentioned even the little things. I love that, because I can
Mm.
also recall one of the experience that we have with our one resident that is demonstrating or having a behavior of concern. So
Mm-hmm.
there can become a little bit aggressive. This resident is a young person, but
Mm-hmm.
has intellectual disabilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or special or differently abled younger person, right? So he can be a little bit challenging to some of the residents that are there, and he sees everything. He pinpoints, even the little details and all that. So we were gifted a journal tool that is a gratitude journal. So it's all talking about gratefulness, talking about seeing and being thankful for even the little things. And that's exactly what happened, Jess. What you've mentioned. So he was tasked to write down all the simple things, all the things that he can be grateful for every day before the start of the day, and it sets the tone. So you
Mm-hmm.
would know the day when he did not do his journal, because he will be grumpy, and he will be demonstrating those behaviors of concern. But if he started his day with those grateful journal, and
Mm-hmm.
he is required to identify at least 20 before he can speak, or before he can talk to anybody. So yeah, has to write down 20 things that he is thankful for, even that he has a bed to sleep, a blanket that keeps him warm at night. So he
Mm-hmm.
writes that down, water for shower, water for drinking, his breakfast, his favorite eggs on toast, writing it down. And then after he finishes those 20 items, he is a changed person. He is an he cannot identify, you can really say that it's different. So very powerful when you use gratefulness as start of the day. So that's amazing. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and you
So do
can
you think
also see that shift, hey, that shift from the behavior from being
mm,
so
mm,
negative, and then
mm,
when they start realizing, oh, there's so many things that I'm grateful for. Why am I even acting like this? And that
yeah,
automatically, change the behavior straight away. So it's beautiful.
amazing, yes. So we talk about this using this for our residents, but
Mm-hmm.
we are really seeing that this is for everyone, hey.
That's
So can you
right.
imagine if managers or leaders,
Mm-hmm.
team leaders
Mm-hmm.
will use this for their team? What do you
Wow.
think, Jess?
That will be the best idea ever. I think that's yeah, so like with our managers and senior DRTs, it can encourage we can encourage journaling and self-care by actually leading the example and making it a part of the team culture. So you can start that culture. So you can talk openly about burnout, sharing their own reflections and introducing simple tools like for example this holistic journal, or even what the other idea I can think of that I'm making also is that the self affirmation box.
Mm,
So you can just put that simply in the table and one staff can pick it up and read it and put it in your heart. And also, yeah, so talking about burnout, sharing the reflections, and use the tools during the meetings can help normalize the practice. So, making space for short check ins, reflection, and then moments or even body systems creates a very safe environment where well being is actually valued. So, when self care is supported and embedded into the daily routines, it actually strengthens not only individual resilience, but also the overall health of the team. So, model it, have regular well being check ins, value stillness, remind each other that, hey, we are humans too.
mm.
So, I think it is very vital for us to incorporate self care with our team.
Amazing. Yeah, I could not agree more. And I love that you use the term, modeling. Yeah, like model it and
Mm-hmm.
personalize it to your
Mm-hmm.
team, because what may work for others may not work for, the rest of us. So you just get those ideas and get those golden nuggets of wisdom
Mm-hmm.
from everyone, and then customize it and personalize it that
Mm-hmm.
can work for your team. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that that's amazing. That's very important. Yeah. So before we continue, I have we have a very wonderful Korero and discussion about self care here. Let's say hi to Annalise is giving a shout out to Felipa. Hi Felipa, how are
Hello.
you? And May Nakar, good evening to you too. Hope that you are warm and peaceful and taking care of yourself wherever you are at
Mm-hmm.
the moment. Eh? Right. So we still have time, and
Mm-hmm.
we are continuously encouraging our listeners to join in and comment down below where you are and how you are, and if you're using journaling as a tool as well for self care and self wellness. And I think that this is amazing. Jessica actually has given another a freebie for a member that is joining us tonight, that can probably answer this wonderful question of how do you think you can use journaling to your team, whether it is a big team or a team of one, for yourself, to continue to fill your cup and check in with self-care. So if you have any suggestion, we've given some, and if you agree, you can use that and say that actually this is what I can use with my team.
Mm-hmm.
every day we'll start with a grateful journal or box of affirmation, or at the end of the day we will write down things that we like about each other, and positive things like that. So share those ideas in the comment section, and the best idea, or probably any idea that was shared, will receive a free journal. Is it a self-care journal, Jessica?
Oh, sorry, no, it's actually 2025 personalized planner this time.
Wow,
Yeah, so you can
2025.
use it for work or personal
Bye-bye.
use. Mm.
So 2025 to 2026, or 2025
At
to
the
end?
moment, it's just 2025
Oh,
planner.
kapay.
Yeah.
2025
Mm-hmm.
planner that will be sent to you. So share your
Mm-hmm.
ideas below if you have idea how to use journaling again, as a tool for self-care for your team or for
Mm-hmm.
yourself, to make sure that you are, your self-care is filled and your cup is filled, so that you can pour out to others as well. All right, so let's continue our conversation, Jess, while
Mm-hmm.
our listeners hopefully types in their suggestions, and gives us a idea of how they will use it for their team and whatnot. So we've talked about journaling. I know that this is off script already, but
Mm-hmm.
we can talk about our experiences. And I
Mm-hmm.
love that you've mentioned grief and trauma
Mm-hmm.
in the earlier conversations that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very, very important. And it's more important now that we talk about trauma
Mm-hmm.
informed practices in our practice at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
because it's just real. The stories of our residents, that the life and their journey that they have experienced, or their lived experiences, are so diverse and varied that
Mm-hmm.
if we are not aware that we are serving clients and serving residents that have these trauma and lived experiences,
Mm-hmm.
there is just it's just a disaster in the making if we are not aware with your with that reality. So it
Mm-hmm.
can be passed on to you. You may be insensitive to deal with
Mm-hmm.
those experiences, and so on and so forth. So how do you think is journaling being able to help in identifying our own griefs and processing
Mm-hmm.
our own griefs? And if you have your personal experiences that you are willing to share, just
Mm-hmm.
go for it.
Yes, so recently, well, yeah, it's already been a year, surprisingly, that I've lost my dad. So I experienced it myself, the grief, because that's the first time I've lost someone who's very close to me. And it's really it's painful, it's struggle, and I said I lost myself completely. Like I don't know how to start my day, the next day. But with journaling, personally, I use it and I write down the things like, why am I feeling this way? Is this normal? So, again, it's all about a matter of acknowledging your emotions and feelings. It's okay not to be okay. So, journaling can really help with that. And I mean, trauma is a big word. And you were right. There are a lot of clients who actually experience trauma. But the thing is, how can we, how do we know if that person is having trauma? Because not well, most people, I believe, is not comfortable anyway
Mm,
sharing their own experiences. So we kind of need to like, as I said, journaling, asking this prompt question, question can lead to a bigger thing. So when you're doing one on one, you might realize that, oh, there are hints that this person actually experienced trauma. And it's very vital for our role to identify that, because that we can create something like a plan. How are we going to approach this person effectively?
mm,
How do we know the triggers? How are we going to plan to be able to really assess and make sure that the well-being of this person is well taken care of? So yeah, so this one-on-one journaling it's really helpful. It's a very
mm,
helpful tool. And again, if they're not able to say it out loud, which most people obviously won't, they can write it down. and let them feel their emotion. Give them that safe space where they can actually, express
Mm.
everything. And at the end of the day, when they're able to let go what they feel, you will start seeing the change. They might be able to talk to you, like one day you go to their when you check on them to do one-on-ones, they'll start telling you this story like, hey, did you know that, I had a very bad experience, for
Mm.
example, this is just an example, with my husband. I was beaten up and stuff like that, because these things are reality. These things happen. So as a DRT, we really need to be, you know, equipped for us to assist these situations.
Amazing. And I think that that is coming from a place of healing already, Jessica, that
Mm-hmm.
you are able to share that. And that is
Mm-hmm.
cool and awesome. And I'd like to share my personal grief story as well. And just like you, I lost my dad during the COVID season, during the COVID
Mm-hmm.
time where it's not allowed to travel, and it made processing grief more difficult. All of my siblings and myself are here in New Zealand, while my mom and dad were in the Philippines. And when my dad passed away, it was only my mom who was supposed to,
Mm-hmm.
arrange all the funeral and all of those. And it was a difficult time for me processing that grief, because I had to, tell myself that I need to keep it together and need to be strong for my mom so that we
Mm-hmm.
can all get through this. And it ending up shutting down my emotions and shutting down, the feelings that I was supposed to have. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good at journaling. I'm not good at writing things down. But when I started compiling the photos for, the funerals and whatnot, and I feel that that was photo journaling,
Mm-hmm.
compiling it, putting it in order, and having those outlets. Yeah, it made me process the feeling, better. It made me cry. So I wasn't able
Mm-hmm.
to cry because I thought that, I have to keep it together. But, using those tools and photos, and remembering those experiences, actually let it all out. And that was the most therapeutic feeling ever. That was the most relieving feeling ever. And I think that that's amazing if we use tools in order for
Mm-hmm.
us to help process those grief and those
Mm-hmm.
trauma
Yeah,
experiences.
that's absolutely right. And also going back to the people that you support,
Mhm.
we'll never know when the last day would be. We'll never know what's going to happen tomorrow. So make the most out of it. Make it so meaningful. Just even on your one-on-ones. I know, the ratio is quite not right, but if you take time to actually talk, sit down, give your time and self to listen to that person that you support, makes a lot of, big difference to their lives. And you would never know the impact that you made on that person. It will be so meaningful to them, and they will have, a better memory. And you create these memories that you can also share with their funnel. So yeah.
Absolutely.
And as what
100%
Lydia always
agree.
say, that we are social beings. So
Absolutely.
mm,
100% agree, and I could not agree more with you about one-on-ones. And if I
mm-hmm,
have the chance to speak to all managers and all DRT, that's always one of the topics that I will have.
mm-hmm,
One-on-ones are very important, and if you feel that, that's not hitting KPIs, well, I'm sorry. I think that we are in the wrong business if we don't do one-on-ones and really spend intentional and separate, specific moments for each of our residents that we care, because not everyone works with group activity. So one-on-ones
that's
is very,
right.
very important.
And remember, we work with our heart too.
Yeah,
So
fine. Yeah.
we're heart
Thank
workers.
you so much. Right. Nikki Goes, hello there. How are you? Thank you for joining us tonight, and we hope that you're keeping warm and being kind to yourself over there. So we
Mm-hmm.
have a few suggestions and a few people that have sent in their journaling journey. So we have Elea Azambuja saying, I am journaling how I am feeling, how to be grateful with what I have. I do weekly walks in nature and mental health support by going to the gym, 3 times a week. That's
Beautiful.
amazing. We have Sue
Well
Moxom
done.
saying that at the end of each day, before I go to sleep, I always say to myself, I have made a difference to my residents' life
Hmm.
by showing compassion, commitment, aroha, and by being me. That is beautiful,
Kapay.
Sue. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I think that that's important to remind ourselves. And if we are looking for a pat at the back, from somebody else, don't pat
Mhm.
yourself and affirm yourself and reassure yourself that you are making a difference and you are awesome. Kapay. Annalise saying, Jessica, journaling or gratitude journal work well with residents. A great reminder to implement it. I love you making space within your team. I tend to rush from one day to another. Sorry, but bringing the day to a short halt will give the team a space to grow. Have you tried to do this verbally with residents unable to write and write on residents' behalf? Oh, that's a good question, Jessica. Have you tried to journal for residents that are unable to write and you journal on their behalf with what they are saying?
Well, so for the people who can't do it verbally, so you can, we can also support them in a way that, they can write it down, or we can write down our questions. As I said, with this journal, there are prompt questions. So you can just easily pick that one page, make a copy out of it, and give it to your resident, and they can freely write it in there. If they're not good with writing, again, it doesn't need to be all about writing. You can actually make them, okay, can you draw what you're feeling at the moment?
Mm,
So
yeah.
there are lots of ways to actually do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Annalise is saying that for those residents that are
Mm-hmm.
unable to write but they can
Mm-hmm.
talk, so absolutely,
Yes.
I think that
Yeah.
we can write the journal for them, and they
Yes.
can talk, and then we can just
Yeah.
assist them and support them
if
for that.
if they struggle to write, and yes, most definitely you can write on their behalf. And what you
Mm,
can do is, while writing, you can put at the end of the of the paragraph, is say, information was collected, you know by like that, and the date, make it more meaningful. And
yep.
again, after you finish answering the questions, while she or he is talking, you can actually print, save it and give a copy to your resident. So that's,
Mm,
a page of their journal done. So yes, definitely.
okay. Amazing. Thank you so much for that, Jess. Ellen Romero saying good evening. Hi,
Good
Ellen.
evening.
And Nikiko saying, hello, I am good and hope you are too. Yes, we are amazing tonight because we are talking about self-care and
Mm-hmm.
talking about the important topic of taking care of ourselves and refilling our cup because we cannot pour from an empty cup. So that is wonderful. Tonight we've talked about journaling that is not just about self-care strategy, it is a lifeline. And the truth
Mm-hmm.
is, if we don't pause to care for ourselves, we lose the heart of our work. What do you
That's
think,
right.
Jess? Are your final reflections tonight and your final takeaways of our wonderful Korero and conversation about self-care in our profession?
Yeah, exactly. So it's not selfish, it's sacred, okay? We are the heartbeat of our work, and to keep it beating strong, we must honor our own needs as well. Remember, we're humans as well. So journaling is just a simple way to listen to that heartbeat. So please start your journal now.
Kapay. And what are your final reflections for tonight, Jess? I think mine is again a loud reminder to care for ourselves
Mm-hmm.
like we care for others because we cannot give what we don't have. And if we
Mm-hmm.
intend to enhance the quality of life of the people that we care and support, but we don't look after the quality of life of our own, it's futile. So care for yourself
That's
and
right.
just like you care for your residents. How about you, Jess?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna say that you all deserve a space to feel and to heal. So just give yourself even that 5 minutes of your time. Acknowledge your feelings, start journaling, and start your gratitude journal as well. Like, remember all these beautiful things that you're grateful for. And again, it's not selfish to look after yourself. We're very busy. We all know that, but hey, you matter too. So take
Mm.
that time, give your time a permission to actually pause and reflect and breathe. Because again, AJ was right. How can you pour your cup if your cup is empty? And
Mm.
again, we are working in a field where we give so much. So we need to remember as well that, we have our own needs as well. So please be kind to yourself and love yourself.
Wow, bye. And I would just like to say congratulations, Annalise, Sue, and Elea. You're going to be receiving Jessica's free planner. Congratulations, and
Yes,
thank you for
congratulations.
engaging with us tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is another hour done for our Korero Live. Beautiful conversations about therapeutic recreations and everything in between. Jessica, thank you so much for being with us tonight and
You're
for
very
sharing
welcome.
your aroha and your heart for our members.
You're
Do you have
welcome.
any final words for our members, Jessica, and excuse me, final greetings to loved ones or friends that are watching and listening tonight, or maybe watching and listening tomorrow, because this
Mm.
recording will be in our page and our platforms.
Yes, so once again, I'm very grateful and honored to be here. No pressure, AJ. This was just like, okay, you're gonna do this. And I'm like, what? Unprepared. So I just want to really thank you all for taking this time to actually listen. And I really hope that you take away something from this Korero. And yeah, continue to be kind and love yourself as well because you matter. And I would
Mhm.
just want to thank you, all of the people that is watching all over the world. Yeah,
Yeah.
and being a recreational and diversional therapist, it's amazing. You're doing an amazing work, so please continue doing what you do. And yeah, and also AJ, just to mention that I'm also making other resources because really my goal is to be able to help. So I'm making more resources available, so
Mm.
please do. All I'm asking is please do follow my Just Digitals at Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So I will be
Yep.
posting more resources there, and I will give free resources too that you can use to your clients. So
Kapay.
thank you so much for your support. And yeah, good evening,
Amazing. So
everyone.
Jessica, please drop
Mhm.
your links on our comment section after
Okay.
our Korero so that our listeners and the future listeners that will be listening to this conversation will be able to
Mhm.
follow your platforms in our comment sections. And we are definitely happy to support the Mahi that you are doing, especially the meaningful benefits that it can affect not just us, but our residents. So thank you very much for being here. And thank you very much, everyone, for spending time on your very busy Monday. But we hope that you care for ourselves. We will end with this quote, and we would like you to rest and ponder upon this wonderful reminder that rest is not idleness, it is the restoration of what the world asks from you. And I think that's beautiful. So thank you for joining us.
Thank
Please
you,
continue to
everyone.
bring your sunshine wherever you are and no matter the weather is. Thank you, everybody. Good night
Thank you.
and have
Have
a
a
great, great
lovely
week ahead.
evening. Thank you.
Kakitiano. Good evening. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.